understanding of what the residents' appetite is for recreational sales of marijuana in the community. And so as we were going through that process and kind of trying to figure out what that's going to look like in our community in Park Forest, just like any other community across the state of Illinois, we learned from legal counsel last week that there's a caveat in the Public Act that says municipalities have the ability to leverage a sales tax for any potential sales of marijuana. However, they have to adopt that ordinance by no later than September 30th of this year. So when I talked to the village attorney about that and understood what we were looking at, the thought was, okay, what are we going to do with that? The ordinance as presented before the board has been drafted by legal counsel. It's something that the board needs to understand and the public needs to understand. While we are going to adopt an ordinance that levies a 3% sales tax for recreational sales, it does not obligate the board, does not obligate the community at all to actually allow for recreational sales. And so some folks may say, well, aren't we kind of putting the cart before the horse? In some respects, I think that's a valid case, but the State Public Act, as it is set forth currently, requires that we have to actually take action, adopt the ordinance, and then forward it to the Illinois Department of Revenue. Otherwise, the next step for us would be somewhere down the road in 2020. We could do this again, but we wouldn't be able to actually capture the revenues that were generated until after September 30th of 2020. There is the case that the state could adopt a trailer bill from the Public Act that was recently approved, authorizing the consumption or the use of recreational marijuana. But we're not sure that the state is going to do that, so I think at the advice of legal counsel, we've got it before the board tonight. The other thing I would mention is what we're going to ask is that the board suspend its standard rules. Procedurally, what the village typically does is for an ordinance, we will have first reading, we'll have rules meeting discussion, and then we'll have regular meeting and final reading. In talking with our legal counsel last week about this, I realized we have one meeting left before the deadline. So sometimes we may have this happen when we're up against a deadline that somewhat has to prompt what we have to do on our end. So what we're asking the board to consider tonight will be a motion to suspend our rules, waive first reading, get the board to approve that, and then go to final reading and have the board approve that. All of that being said, before I turn it over to the village attorney for his insights, Hildy, is there anything else that you would offer from an economic development planning standpoint?
No, sir. You did a great job.
Okay. Village attorney, would you offer anything else that I haven't covered?
Thank you, village manager. I think you summed it up very well. Unless there's any other questions, again, to reiterate, this does not have any bearing on the village's ability or desire to actually regulate the adult use of cannabis or the sale of cannabis in the future. It has no bearing on the future public hearings. It is just to say, if in the future the village does approve it, then it will have the ability to collect those revenues as soon as the new Public Act goes into effect. And if we don't do it as the law is currently written, the village will lose out on that, at least initially, because we would be missing this September 30th, 2019 deadline. So that's why it is our recommendation to approve the tax and then consider whether or not to actually go forward with the regulation and sale.
Trustees, any question? I know we had a long discussion on this. Do you have any questions, comments? Okay. All right, that's gonna end the agenda. I'm gonna suspend the comments for the regular meeting. Can I have a motion for adjournment?